What's up, y'all? It's your boy Afro Beets. Got it again with another video. In today's video, you're going to be learning about my takeaways from the book Vegucation Over Medication by Dr. Bobby Price. It's a real good one, easy read. Yo, I crushed this in like a week. If this video brings you any value, don't forget to like and subscribe and stay with me for all your garden table content here on my channel. So I'm just going to go over my few kind of like takeaways from the book and things I thought that were awesome in the book and what I liked. So let's get into it. The first thing I like about this book is how he talks about his travels to Japan and kind of what he learned from the sanitarians of Okinawa. That's it. Okinawa. I'm gonna move on. Anyway, he talks about the sanitarians in Okinawa, Japan, and how they live. Basically, these are like people who are over 100 years old, and they're not like in some like nursing home, like playing checkers. Like these people are biking, they're doing martial arts, they're doing yoga, they're living their life, they're living their best lives. And he goes into it, and he talks about like everything from like how much they actually eat. Like he talks about like the 80% rule they have, where they only eat until they're about 80% full, and they do that because the brain takes like a little while to like catch up to the stomach, and so when they do that, they're giving their stomach room to digest, and it's helping the digestive system so much easier than just trying to get full, which leads to bloating, and you get stuff in your face. He also talked about like the kids, the grandkids of these people, and they were saying how like they would either get married into a different family, a more Western family, or they would go and go to a different part of the island where it was more westernized, and they were introducing these processed foods, and for the first time in like hundreds of years, like they were seeing like obesity, they were seeing like high blood pressure, which was crazy. So what they were doing was doing something right, and they typically live on mostly a plant-based diet. Like I think they have, it's like 2% of their diet is actually meat, like they barely eat it. And yeah, that was like super interesting to me. I love his story of how he got there too. He was kind of talking about how he traveled. Maybe I got this from a podcast, but he was telling about how he traveled on kind of like a whim. And he was a pharmacist at first, and he was basically pushing drugs, pushing medication. And when he got this opportunity, this really changed him. He tried the plant-based diet himself and was able to heal some of his ailments. So Dr. Bobby Price is like a great dude and made an amazing book out of it. So the next thing I want to talk about, he talks about in the book, which is real interesting, is Haiti. Like Haiti is one of those kind of like countries that always get hit with those big storms and usually devastated. They have like droughts and stuff like that. And one of the big crises that Haiti went through, they refused help from the company Monsanto because basically everything had been destroyed and they had to like rebuild from the ground up. And so Monsanto came in trying to like do their thing with like helping, and they're like, oh, we'll give you these seeds so you can get started and kind of replenish your land. And even in like their darkest hour, like when they needed the help, they were like, nah bro, we're good on the seeds. We're good on the seeds, because here's what's going to happen if we use your seeds. First, these GMO seeds are going to like disrupt our land, and so it's going to drain the nutrients out of our soil, so we won't be able to grow anything but your types of seeds. So once we can only grow things that are with your seeds, then we'll have to rely on you, and we don't want to do that. We're not about that. We're about culture. We're about living off the land. And so they were like, nah bro, we're good. We're good on that. I'm curious what you guys think about like GMOs and overly processed food. Name one of the foods that is trash in the comments below, that is just terrible for your health, that made you feel bad when you ate it. Like, share the wealth of knowledge. Dehydration. I loved how Dr. Bobby Price talked about dehydration. He basically said a lot of the common like ailments, a lot of the common like problems were because of dehydration. We're not drinking enough water. As a base level, he was basically like 2.5 liters a day is like a good start. But you know, you need more or less depending on how much you're sweating, how much you're exercising, how much energy you're burning. And so a bunch of problems were created from dehydration. Some of the problems he was talking about as far as dehydration, one being sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation. So sleep deprivation is, you know, when you have a hard time going to sleep, and dehydration causes to throw off, it really like throws off your cycle basically. Something called melatonin, which is like a hormone in your body. When you know you're dehydrated, that hormone isn't working as properly and it's just throwing your cycle off. That's that kind of hormone that tells you, oh, the sun's up, so I'm going to start waking up the body, or the sun's down, you know, time to like rest. And so that's disrupted. Weight gain is another one. Like I didn't even like think about this, like weight gain from dehydration, because your body, it lacks water to like, water is used to like kind of remove the toxins from your body. And so if you're not getting enough water, all those toxins are just kind of getting stored as fat. Like the body doesn't trust that it can release those toxins, and so it just kind of like stores them, and that's how you gain a little belly. Also, you have constipation. I thought that was a little bit of an obvious one, but maybe, I don't know, could help you out. Like drink more water if you're constipated. It's not releasing those toxins again, they're just being stored in you. Speaking of constipation, the dude talks about poop in the book. And I mean, it's kind of weird, but like, we all talk about it at some point. Let's be honest. Like, this is a conversation we need to have. Like, and it doesn't get into like the grimy details or anything. Like, we're past that. We're mature here. We're all adults here. He talks about like corn and like how, like the joke where like people like, oh, I think I had like corn like in their bowl, and like it's in the toilet bowl, and you see, and the corn is like whole, and like we never thought like maybe there might be something wrong with that. The fact that everything else got digested and pressed through and is waste, but that corn, that little corn kernel is still whole, that probably says it's not being digested and it's probably not that good for you. He breaks it down in such a way that just like makes sense, and like I never thought I'd be talking about poop on YouTube, but here I am. Well, that's pretty much it for today, y'all. If you would like to see more garden table content, make sure to subscribe here on my channel, and please send this video to somebody who's interested in getting more information on like medication and like natural healing remedies. Like, this is a great book for that. And if you or somebody you like to know would like more help into transitioning into more of a plant-based diet, and also getting some like kitchen hacks to just grow and cook food more efficiently, make sure you sign up to the Afro Beets mailing list on the description below. We'll definitely help you out with that. Well, that's it for today, fam. Talk to y'all later. Peace.